Dr. Ashwath Rao, Anna. Dr. Ashwath Rao is from Karnataka, Udupi exactly. He is a junior resident in general surgery in Bangalore Medical College. His father, Dr. Ramesh Rao, is an integrated practitioner, and mother, Dr. Shobha Rao, is an Ayurvedic practitioner. So he hails from a family with maybe thorough understanding about the values and various types of applications of the traditional system of medicine in India, Ayurveda. And Dr. Ashwath Rao has something to present about his first-hand experience as the person who delivered that care in those patients. So I invite Dr. Ashwath Rao to present his experiences, his views, everything about this particular intervention. Dr. Ashwath Rao.
Namaste, sir. Namaste, everyone. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, you are very much.
Okay, sir. Can I please share the screen? Sir?
Definitely you can. You are made a co-host, you can.
Okay, sir. So, one common assumption prevailing among people is that only in case of emergency conditions, Ayush system is of no use, or Ayush system is only helpful for post recovery or for mild to moderate cases. But being in the field of modern medicine, when I used to work in intensive care units in Bowring Hospital or in Victoria Hospital, where we are actually working in the Department of Surgery. In times of pandemic, even we were posted to intensive care units, orange zones, etc., along with the critical doctors treating critical patients. So I thought this is the right opportunity for me, where the patients are critical, and we have an opportunity to treat such patients and show the effectiveness of native system of medicine in case of COVID. This is one such example. Where the patient on 7th day after hospitalization, where the patient was about to discharge, so she developed cytokine storm. We know the second phase of COVID, where suddenly the patient is going to deteriorate. In such conditions, the saturation is going to fall drastically. The patient will become breathless, etc. And for the second time, the patient was shifted to ICU, intensive care unit. So I counsel such patients take their written informed consent, which is valid according to law, and start treatment. And for example, this is the first image which shows saturation at room air without connecting to the non-invasive ventilator. Saturation was just 77 without oxygen. So this is how I check the response to treatment. After putting the person on a ventilator, the oxygen will jump to anywhere 98 to 99. But after removing even for 30 seconds, even removing oxygen mask for 30 seconds, saturation will drop to 70, 77. But this is second image shows just after intervention for 90 minutes, after 90 minutes of Ayurveda administration of Ayurveda medicines. We see how the saturation at room air has jumped from 77 to around 90. For this to happen in modern medicine, it takes a few days for recovery. But for the few days or few weeks of recovery can happen within few hours by using Ayush system of medicine. And what I've seen is if a person gets admitted to intensive care unit, usually there is chance of secondary infection because there'll be all nearby patients with different kinds of infections. And this patient did not take any modern medicine except the injection what she was receiving, Clexane, etc. I had stopped allopathy medicine like steroids or antibiotics or pantoprazole, etc. She was only on Ayurveda medicine. So within 3 days, she was shifted back from intensive care unit to ward. And what I feel is from OPD to ICU, it can integration of Ayush system with modern medicine can decrease the extent of hospitalization, can decrease the hospitalization stay. Hence, the chance of secondary infection or immunocompromised state, or it can decrease the need of even antibiotics, which can further contribute to in a very big way to avoid antibiotic resistance. And coming to second case, where this is a case of first case is a mild case, mild COVID, and second is a moderate COVID. where the person saturation was just 65, even with 15 liters of NRBM mass. And we know in the month of April, people were finding hard to even find beds in intensive care units. It was very difficult, and people were dying because of non-availability of beds. So in such cases, I used to try such gasping patients, and who did not have the chance of being referred to higher hospitals. Such patients, young patients, I used to, because it's not possible to treat everyone in such case in the hospital. So young patients who have a better chance of recovery with no comorbidities, such patients I selected, I counseled them, and after they agreed, I started treatment. For example, this is at around 4 a.m. in the morning. Her saturation was just 65. She had tachypnea. Her respiratory rate was around 35-40, and she had severe chest pain. She had severe crepitations, rhonchi involving the entire lungs. In such a condition, after I administered treatment initially every 2 hours for the first 6 to 8 hours, then once in 6 hours, then once in 8 hours. Then with same treatment, she was not shifted to for a higher treatment. After 2 days, her saturation improved to 98 with just 6 liters of NRBM mass. So even with minimum support from the like oxygen support, etc., with the help of modern medicine, the need for higher intervention can be avoided. This can be very helpful where person is able to arrange only oxygen, and when there is non-availability of hospital beds, etc. I think Ayush system of medicine can be of great help in decreasing the need of people going to hospital. And this has happened many a times. People had to book their hospital beds, but the reply what they got from the hospital was beds will be available only after 24 hours. So in such conditions, I asked people to get an oxygen cylinder for rent, and they connected oxygen, and within 24 hours their saturation improved. And when they got call from the hospital, now the bed is empty, they canceled the beds because they saw improvement. So this is another case of moderate case which I treated. And this is another case, a very severe case, a 30-year-old female. Even after spending almost 3 weeks in hospital, her condition deteriorated day by day. And on almost 15 days after intensive care unit admission, they tried remdesivir, tocilizumab. We know tocilizumab costs around 30,000. Even she had a reaction to that injection. So even the last resort medicines were tried and failed in modern medicine. In such condition, with 100 FiO2 of non-invasive ventilation, her saturation was around 70, 80 when I got a call. Because why I got the call was previous week I had done the duty in the same intensive care unit, and people had seen how effective Ayurveda medicines were in managing such crisis. And even previous cases where I had treated one case where the saturation was 40, it was none other than my mother's uncle. So I showed n number of Ayurveda cases in where it can work in critical cases to the ICU doctors. So when they saw this case, I got a call from intensive care unit that saturation is around 60 with 100% effort. That is maximum delivery of a ventilator. Her saturation was just 60. And by the time I reached, after 1 hour, saturation dropped to 40. No one is going to wait till the saturation drops to 40. When it comes below 70, 60, even with maximum non-invasive ventilation, they plan the patient for intubation. So as we know, in case of COVID, intubation is the end. Usually, the person is not going to recover after intubation. So I requested the treating doctors, as after intubation, it is very difficult to administer Ayurveda medicine. We have to insert Ryle's tube and give medicines through Ryle's tube, powder the medicine and give. So I requested them, why can't we give a chance? Maybe let's wait for half an hour. And even after half an hour of Ayurveda treatment, if the person doesn't improve, then we can plan to intubate. So they readily agreed, and even the relative of the patient, she was a professor in a medical college, so it was easy for me to convince her. The way Ayurveda medicines work, I explained her in terms of modern medicine how this can help. So definitely, the treating doctors, the family members gave me the consent after explaining them in detail. I explained them quickly without wasting much time and started treatment. And just after 1 hour of treatment, oxygen crossed 70, and she was much stable, and her respiratory rate came down. And after 2 hours of Ayurveda treatment, saturation crossed 90. So, and this was all very, very difficult for the treating physicians in ICU to believe, because most of the time they allow Ayurveda medicine in the end stage, thinking that it is just for satisfaction. They give Ayurveda or any other alternate system of medicine. But this is this result actually surprised everyone, even the treating doctors and the family members, because the doctors had counseled the patient members that the patient is almost gone. But after 2 hours, they called and told the patient party, the doctors, that now the saturation has crossed 90. Now she's stable, and I continued treatment for another 12 hours just to stabilize the patient. And she was discharged around 15 days back, or after around 15 days of Ayurveda treatment, she was discharged from intensive care unit. The requirement of a ventilator came down. Then she was shifted to NRBM mask, then the usual oxygen mask, face mask, and she was discharged in a very stable condition. And we know in second wave, the number of patients getting admitted to intensive care unit has become more. Or when compared to first wave, the severity of COVID has increased. And what we have seen is the incidence of post-COVID fibrosis, or the percentage of people being dependent on oxygen has increased significantly in second wave when compared to first wave. I have seen many patients being dependent on oxygen for 2 months, 3 months, even after being discharged from hospital. And some people have gone into post-COVID fibrosis, complete destruction of the lung. And some of them were even advised to go for lung transplantation. They were given almost 1 crore 90 lakh package. This is one such case. And these are the reports of the patient which I had treated. Interleukin was around 387 when I started treatment for this ICU case, which I mentioned earlier. And within 12 hours, 387 to 14.1. This is such a big change in span of just 12 hours. And most of the people have worry. I think now some anti-Ayurveda campaigns are going on, saying that Ayurveda medicines can damage liver, kidneys, etc. But I have n number of cases to say that after starting Ayurveda medicine, deranged kidney and liver has been corrected. This is one such proof. After giving very high dose, for example, when I started treatment, AST and ALT, which are liver enzymes, were very high. And after 3 days of very intense Ayurveda treatment, it has started getting normalized. That too, AST has completely normalized. So this is one proof to say that I want to convey through this platform to the public that as an allopathy or modern medicine physician, I want to convey that Ayurveda medicines are absolutely safe to use if the preparation or it is from reputed pharmacy companies or reputed people manufacture Ayurveda medicines. Absolutely, there is no toxic in that. No incidence of toxicity. And even we know that antibiotics have a limitation. If they don't respond for 7 days, etc., there's no point in trying it for 10 days, 15 days. I asked the doctors to stop the antibiotics because she has already taken for 15 days, 20 days. And when I started Ayurveda treatment, her total WBC count was 25,000. Just after 3 days, it has almost normalized. This shows the decrease in the need of antibiotics or allopathy medicines. When Ayurveda medicines are given, we can decrease 90% of the treatment in modern medicine when we have Ayurveda medicines side by side. And after I shared these cases with some of my modern medicine friends who are working in different premier institutes of our country, even they started over phone call. They connected with me when a person was very sick, and they started administering Ayurveda medicines. And this is the response I got from of the doctors. This is one of the doctor working in one of the premier institute of our country. And he said one of the patients' oxygen requirement from 15 liter, it has come down to 2 liter in just that 6 hours. And that person was actually in multi-organ failure. And in this way, even doctors in the field of modern medicine, they have started gaining faith in our native system of medicine. And I'm happy to share this news in this platform. So this is another case. I'll take another 2 minutes to say about this case where 60-year-old female post-COVID fibrosis, she was advised lung transplantation. She was dependent on 40 liters of high flow nasal cannula with 70% FiO2 with high requirement of oxygen. And if you see the right side X-ray, lungs is completely damaged except the tip of the lungs, bilateral complete fibrosis or interstitial lung disease of the lung. So in such conditions, as we know, whenever there is like fibrosis or liver cirrhosis, etc., it is very difficult to reverse the damage that has already happened in modern medicine. So instead of going for replacement of the organs, we should concentrate on regeneration of the organs, and this is possible only through Ayush system of medicine. And I feel this can make a very big difference. And we know that transplantation cannot be planned in a day or two. Even for transplantation, a lot of planning has to happen. Donors should be available. It will take many months. Why can't we use that time to try the native system of medicine and make an attempt to reverse the damage that has happened? And we know the severity of lung fibrosis is reflected through this echo report, where it showed severe pulmonary artery hypertension on 6th June, and pulmonary artery pressure was 75, and the patient had severe chest pain, difficult to breathe, etc. And she had completely lost her voice. And I started treatment on 10th June. And after 2 days, around 12, 13 June, she regained her almost 30 to 40% of her voice. And she was able to get up and sit on her own. She was bedridden. She was very weak to get up and sit on her own from the last maybe 1.5 months. And on the 4th, 5th day, when doctors came for rounds, she herself got up and sat in a chair. So looking at this, doctors found some unusual recovery in this case. And they advised another echocardiography to see the extent of improvement. And on 15 June, in a span of just 5 days, severe pulmonary hypertension has become mild. That is, the damage that has happened in the lungs has been reversed in a span of just 5 days. And I spoke to many of the experts like pulmonologists, cardiologists, etc. They say in modern medicine, it is impossible for this recovery to happen in 5 days. Or I can say the need for lung transplantation has been avoided by use of Ayurveda medicine, and that too in a span of 5 days. This result is a big example to say that Ayurveda medicines can be of great help even in emergency management. These are some of the cases where we see the spectrum from mild to moderate to severe cases, and even in post-COVID fibrosis, where the doctors had advised lung transplantation can be reversed. And I feel confining this Ayush system of medicine just to mild cases or non-hospitalized cases is a big mistake we are doing. And I'm saying this as a modern medicine physician, where we see the scope of Ayurveda medicine even from OPD to intensive care unit. I think restricting it only to mild cases is a big mistake we are doing. And I think if we had included Ayurveda even in the care of critical patients, definitely a big number of deaths could have been avoided. And I have seen a lot of patients dying due to non-availability of beds. They are not given any other treatment, just on oxygen dependent. In such cases where modern medicine hospitals are filled up, why not Ayurveda physicians should why not they can be given a chance to treat even severe cases. So I think including Ayush doctors in this COVID care will make a big difference in decreasing the mortality, I feel. Thank you.